It took me a really long time to decide to leave my comfort zone, leave the life that I had created back home, and make a 180 switch to a life that is extremely out of my comfort zone. Of course, with time, I've learned to be acclimated to the experience of living here. I have learned to deal with the challenges that come from being an expat in a foreign country where it's another language. And I have learned to find home within myself, find home within the experience that I am having no matter where I am. This has been a really big process of empowerment. The need to find that strength within me is still something that I cultivate every day. I have an active meditation practice where I work on centering myself, where I work on aligning my energy so that I'm not overwhelmed with emotions that guide me, so that I'm not overwhelmed by fears that limit me, and so that I can just keep going forward through life in a way that feels aligned and in resonance with my heart. There's no denying it that living in Costa Rica requires courage, resilience, and strength. And it's something that I've talked about on my channel before. Ask any expat that's been here for a while, and they will tell you that they have had to cultivate a lot of resilience. I think that's the case for any foreign country that you end up moving to, where you're going to a place that you have to rebuild a network, that you have to learn a new language, that you have to learn to settle in, and so many other things, so many other ways of adapting to another culture. But it is so enriching to be able to experience this, to be able to taste life elsewhere, to be able to experience higher expansion and higher frequencies of life. I was living in Canada. I could feel a lot of energetic density where I was living. I could feel that my body, my physical body, and my being were not thriving in the circumstances living in the city where I was. And I could feel that there was more out there for me. I just didn't have the courage to say, yes, I'm going to take the leap. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to listen to the call of my soul, and I'm going to stop limiting myself by my fears and just do it. Learning to empower myself, honor my choices, trust myself are the biggest things that I'm working on right now. To not question the choices that I make so much, and to just keep moving forward. When we let our emotions and our fears guide us, when we are too in tune with them, when we let them take too much space, they limit us. Emotions and fears don't serve us. Last year, I managed to organize a festival for the first time in my life, having no event organization experience and just not really knowing what I was doing. And it was because I had done a 10-day Vipassana, silent meditation retreat, a month before the festival, that I was able to learn to manage my emotions and to just go for it. And this is really an energy that I'm working on cultivating more in my life, of just going for it. Saying, I'm not going to listen to all of these limitations that are preventing me from living my best life, that are preventing me from manifesting the best version of myself. And when you can trust yourself and tune into that strength and that power inside of you, well, then you have space, you create space for your light to shine. And that only benefits the world, it only serves the world. So me stepping into this space of empowerment, this space of putting my fears aside, not letting my limitations guide me, is not only serving me, but is serving everyone listening, is serving the world around me. And I'm not saying, oh no, I can't, oh no, I can't, oh no, I can't, like I used to. It's always a challenge of realigning yourself and saying, no, 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 no. Recognizing that you're self-sabotaging. Recognizing the patterns that run inside your head that prevent you from taking the leap in the direction that you want. There's always going to be a lot more reasons not to do something than to do it. It's really easy to find excuses as to why you shouldn't make those choices. And the people around you will try to limit you. They will project, and it is important to note that it is merely a projection and not truth. They will project their opinions, their beliefs, onto you, their own fears onto you. If I had asked people in my environment, do you think that it's a good idea that I move to Costa Rica, that I sell all my stuff and that I start over? I'm sure that I would have had a lot more, are you crazy, than, yeah, that's amazing. Depending on who you ask, of course. If you have a really supportive network of people who are also doing that, then people will absolutely encourage you. And so it's important to surround yourself with people who are on that same frequency, who have those same desires, who find what you're doing inspirational, motivational, and who might want to embark on the same journey that you're on. I'm on a journey towards motherhood right now. I mentioned in my last video that I was 8 months pregnant. And what that entails is a need to really cultivate a lot of strength, because I don't have the same support network here. I don't have the same resources. I feel that it is very much aligned and the right choice for me to birth my baby here in Costa Rica. And it also requires me to be more resourceful, to make an effort to make those connections, to not swim in emotions of victimhood. It's so easy to let our emotions guide us, to say life is so hard, things are so challenging, and to feel stuck and stagnant. And I have to say that it's an energy that I have been in a lot in my life. And now I'm like, enough is enough. I want to feel fulfilled in what I'm creating. I want to feel that I am creating from a space of joy and inspiration. I want to mention that I am offering private consultations. If you are considering moving to Costa Rica, or anywhere really, and you would like advice on how to settle in a foreign country, I can obviously give a lot more information specifically for Costa Rica, but if it's more just because you need the push to be able to say, yeah, I am going to take the leap. I'm going to listen to the call of my soul, because I know that my life, if I do so, will be so much more satisfying than if I don't. If you Google search the top 5 regrets of the dying, one of them has to do with living a life for you, not the life that others expected of you. In the end, on our deathbed, we're going to look back and say, did I live a life that was fulfilling? Did I listen to myself? It's really easy to not do so, to arrive at a space where you're like, wow, I had all this time. I mean, throughout my life, I've started a lot of projects that I let go. Different reasons. A lot of the time, self-sabotage. Not believing in myself, not believing that I'm capable of doing it. A lack of empowerment, a lack of self-confidence, a inability to trust that I have the skills, believing that I'm not good enough. So many of us believe that we need to do extensive amount of training in order to be qualified for whatever it is that we want to offer to the world. This is giving our power away. Trainings can be beneficial for certain things, but if you're just constantly doing trainings because you need that self-validation and you're not actually using that, it's not actually beneficial. It's not actually benefiting you. You're better off just to start. Start before you're ready. Just go. I remember several years ago, I had started a podcast. I had all the equipment. I was totally ready. And I just kept waiting and not doing it. Talking about how I had the intention of starting a podcast. Telling everybody, oh yeah, I'm going to start a podcast. Not doing it. Until one day, one of my friends was like, enough. Stop telling me you're going to do the podcast and just do it. And her tough love approach brought me to start the podcast. And I had a pretty successful experience of creating the podcast because I had that no bullshit approach to it where I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. Fine, I'm going to do this. Let's just go. So if you have dreams, if you have aspirations, and you're lacking the courage, tap into that. Tap into that inner strength. Tap into that knowing that you can. Don't let your fears guide your life. And if you're interested in a consultation, the link is down below in my description box. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, comment. I really appreciate it. I'll see you soon in the next one.